Fans have been excited to see the Halo television show right from the moment that we knew it was happening. Now the show is almost here, but a lawsuit from the game's original composer could block the launch of the series. We're gonna check out all of the mind-blowing details about that today. Then we'll look at some of the other details we know about the Halo TV show. So first, let's dive into what the lawsuit is all about. Just to be clear, these weren't the creators of the Halo game that are having these issues. They are the original composers that created some of the theme music and the chants for the first Halo game. Since then, most of those original pieces were also used in the games from then on, and they can also be heard in the television show. That's all fine and good, but the original composers of these scores, Marty O'Donnell and Mike Salvatore, have filed a lawsuit that states that for more than 20 years they have not been getting the royalties that they have been owed. The original Halo game was made for Bungie, but since then, Microsoft has acquired them, and the composers said that ever since then, they've not been paid. Microsoft, however, maintains that this contract was a work-for-hire job, meaning that O'Donnell and Salvatore had no more rights after being paid in the first place. But O'Donnell has denied this in interviews. The composers say that it was a license deal that was done with Bungie, meaning that the first Halo music that they composed and that is still being used still belongs to the composers and they need to be paid for it. How much are they owed? It seems like no one really knows how much money is at stake here, since the composers have said that they've been trying to get that answer for a while now and they aren't getting anywhere. I guess if Microsoft truly believes that it was a one-off situation, they probably don't believe that they owe them anything for the music. And if that's what they believe, then it makes sense that they use the same theme music for the show without thinking that there would be any issue in the long run. But they were mistaken and there are issues, and if things can't be resolved, then it could mean that fans will have to wait longer for the show to be released. So why haven't they sued earlier, and what it could mean now? The thing is, they filed the lawsuit 2 years ago, and since then they haven't really gotten anywhere. Now Microsoft has started mediation and they're trying to work things out without going to trial, but it looks like a trial could be inevitable if both parties stick to their guns and if no one wants to budge. There isn't a lot of gray area between being owed nothing and being owed a lot. They could have probably sued earlier, but O'Donnell was working for them at the time, and as he puts it, he didn't push the issue, quote, because I wanted to keep my job. But then another game came out, Halo Infinite, and they weren't even credited. The interesting thing is that the show has already used some of the music that they've created, and that means that they can stop it from being released until the matter is resolved. They've reportedly already started to look into an injunction since the promotional material for the show used their music without crediting them. It would be a big bummer for fans if the show does get pushed because of this, but at the same time, as the composers have said, they just want what they have been promised more than 20 years ago. But could the show somehow go ahead? There are possible scenarios where the show will continue on as planned, but the chances are limited. One option is that the lawsuit will come to an end if everyone comes to some sort of resolution, but I just don't see that happening that quickly. Another option could be that the composers decide that they won't try to block the release of the series, but having control over the release of the show might just be the best leverage that they have. It gives Microsoft some incentive to get things resolved and to pay the composers what they're due, if that is anything at all, of course. So I'm not sure the composers will just let their best leverage go. And then the third option could be to make sure that none of that music is anywhere on the television show at all. But since they already used it in the promotional material, the courts might feel like it is too little too late to remove the music now. And besides, if they do, then chances are the delays to get new music on the show would lead to delays in releasing the show anyway. We'll have to wait and see what happens and if we are getting this show on time. What do you think about the lawsuit? Do you think Microsoft owes the composers nothing? Or do you believe that they need to pay them 20 years worth of royalties? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section. We'd love to hear all of your opinions. Next up, we will check out the release date for Halo TV and the drama that the production has gone through. Plus, so much more. When is the Halo TV show supposed to launch? If they do want to resolve all of the issues and make sure that the show is still released at the expected time, then they seriously need to hurry up and get it done. They really have almost no time left before the release of the show. Right now, it is expected to release on Paramount Plus on the 24th of March 2022. And we all know that court cases and things like that can take a lot of time, so I would be shocked if it was sorted out before the show's release date. But if the show does go on as planned, then chances are that they'll release the show one episode per week. Paramount Plus is a streaming service, but sadly for those of us who love to binge watch, they prefer to release most of their highest rated series piece by piece, and that's likely what will happen with this series too. Next, we dive into production drama. Fans had hoped that this series would have been released months ago, but that just isn't how things turned out. The show faced a number of delays thanks to the pandemic, but since many of the series that were made in the last few years have faced those same challenges, it wasn't super surprising. But what has been surprising, however, has been the amount of important crew that has left the series even before the first first season has come out. In 2021, one of the Halo showrunners, Kyle Killen, announced that he would be leaving the project. At the same time, the other showrunner for Halo TV, Steve Kane, let fans know that he would be leaving the show after season 1. And the changes didn't even end there. Rupert Wyatt, who is known for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, was supposed to direct a bunch of the episodes, but he also left, and he was replaced by Otto Bathurst. It was all really strange to be happening on such a massive project. I mean, even Steven Spielberg is attached to the show. The show was originally set to be released on Showtime, but then the Viacom executives decided that the show would be a better fit for Paramount Plus. After all of the drama they've already faced, we really hope they don't have to face yet another delay on top of it. Now let's talk about the cast of the show. The cast of the show seems to have at least gone down without too much effort. They have an incredible cast to bring the game characters to life. First is obviously Master Chief Petty Officer John 117, who will be played by Pablo Schreiber. We aren't sure how much of the actor we will actually see in the game. It's a bit of a thing that he never removes his helmet. The voice of Cortana is going to be done by Jen Taylor, the same voice actress who has done the voice in the games. Fans are really excited that they haven't changed that up since her voice is so iconic. Dr. Catherine Halsey will be played by Natasha McElhone. This character is kind of the mother to the super soldiers since she's the head of the Spartan program. Admiral Margaret Parangoski of the UNSC's Navy will be played by the incredible Shabana Azmi. Then there's a whole new character called Mackie that will join the show. This character is a human one that has been raised by the Covenant, meaning his loyalties will probably be divided. He will be played by Charlie Murphy from Peaky Blinders. The cast of Captain Jacob Keyes and his daughter Miranda will be played by Danny Sapani and Olive Gray, respectively. And that's just a fraction of the incredible cast on this series. I'm sure the amazing cast is eager to show their work. If things stay according to plan, then we will be seeing the series very soon. What are you hoping to see? Let us know. Thanks for watching.